Hey, what's up, pretty? Let's get into it. So this is a new series that I'm doing, and it's called Grace and Get Ready With Me. Basically, it's a series where you get ready with me. I do my makeup and stuff. I tell stories about times in my life where I was out of pocket, and you know, I was young, dumb, and doing stuff I wasn't supposed to be doing, and I put myself in dangerous situations, but God had grace on me. So basically, it's just like a story time and get ready with me. This video is not really gonna be like a story. It's just gonna be like a Q&A and talking about myself and having y'all get to know me. Like, I feel like I need to be more intimate and personal with those that are supporting me right now. I feel like I don't really open up. I feel like I just be posting about God and like segments and stuff and telling y'all need to do this, da, 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 da. But I don't be like talking about myself and opening up more because I'm not really used to doing that. So I'm trying to change that and, you know, get better at that. So I have put a link on my Instagram for y'all to ask me questions anonymously. So I'm gonna be answering those questions while giving y'all a little like backstory of myself, who I am, and where I come from. My name is Priscille, not Priscilla. Like basically Priscilla, but with an E at the end. My parents are Haitian. Since they're Haitian, my dad, he reads the French Bible, so it's Priscille in French. It's Priscille, but English, it's Priscilla. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York my whole life. My parents are Haitian. I'm also a pastor's kid. This channel is like, I just want to be transparent before I continue talking about myself. Like, this channel is not for like, I'm not like one of those cuckoo Christians that like judge you and make you feel condemned for living a certain way. That's not what this channel is for at all. Or I'm not one of those ones that be like, warning from God, prophetic word. Like, no, I'm not one of those at all. Trust me, like, I grew up in church and I understand like all of that is annoying. I just truly believe that God has called me to spread his word in a manner that is beneficial and helpful to those that want to know God but don't know where to start and don't understand certain things in the Bible, just feel lost and feel like they don't have a safe space to talk about their issues, you know, especially those that grew up in church. If you're a PK, you understand that certain things we went through that others won't understand. And it's hard because our situation is not really relatable to a lot of people. And even like Christian content creators that talk about their testimonies, most of them always say, you know, they didn't grow up in church and they found God. So even sometimes most content about God is not even relatable, especially to like pastors' kids or people that just grew up in church. So this is just a safe space for those that have questions and don't know where to start, basically. Like, if you need to start, this is what my channel's for. This is for the Christian girlies and guys too. Christian girlies that just, you know, like getting their hair done, like getting their nails done, all of that, like going out to do cute Bible studies and all that other stuff, but you know, like to have fun too, but still love God. And for unbelievers that have questions, it's all love here. So I went through a lot as a pastor's kid, honestly. It's not easy being one, especially when you're Haitian. Because you know, the old-fashioned Haitians, religion, they're quick to judge. They cause a lot of issues in the church today, and I feel like that's why a lot of young people aren't in church or whatever. And a lot of young people experience church hurt. And as a pastor's kid, I definitely understand, because I firsthand experienced church hurt. Here we're all about purpose and relationship over religion. I just grew up, and being a pastor's kid, you're expected to like live a certain standard. So I've always viewed God differently in my life. Like, I used to think God's love was conditional, because as a pastor's kid, you're expected to do certain things and carry yourself a certain way. So I just always thought that if I don't do this, God won't love me, or he won't accept me for who I am. And as I grown a personal relationship with him myself, I've come to understand that's not true at all. Once you get to know God yourself, it's a whole other ball game. And once you learn to understand the word for yourself and how it pertains to the season you are in your life, nobody could tell you nothing. Because I just feel like a lot of people don't know their word. They don't know their word, and they don't know God for themselves. So they're just so quick to dismiss God, and they have this negative view of Christianity they shouldn't have. Since I started my channel or started talking about God, I see more people just asking me questions and being more intrigued, and even seeing more of the people that follow me post things about God, and I'm just like, wow, that's amazing. Even if it's a little post, you know what I'm saying, like nothing crazy, and even that in itself is great. I grew up in church. I stepped out of the will of God for a bit. I had my partying, smoking phase. I used to be a big custy. If you're from New York, you know what that means. I don't know if they use that term outside of New York. Because in high school, I went through a rough patch, especially with my parents. So smoking, and I was just hanging out with people that did that. So I started doing it too. And y'all, God humbled me. God humbled me so much. I used to do it every day. I used to literally be addicted to it, and that's not a good thing at all. Eventually, God set me free from it. And I still have urges now. Like, I'm not perfect, because, you know, you go through things in life, and sometimes, you know, you just want to smoke a spliff and take away all that anger or whatever it is you're going through, toxic family and stuff like that. So I understand completely. It's not even worth it, because it doesn't satisfy you completely, and it's only for a moment. And that's something I had to learn. During that phase, I lost a lot of friends and people that just weren't for me. God humbled me. He put me in my isolation season. I'm gonna get more into my testimony later. I can't really explain everything at once, because my testimony is just not like one event that changed my life because of the way I grew up. It was just different things that led up to that. So, but yeah, that's a little bit about me. Let's get into the questions y'all have. They asked, do you have siblings? Yes, I have 3 siblings. I have oldest brother, who's the oldest, youngest brother, and my sister, who's the second, and I'm the 3rd child. So I'm basically like the middle child. Do you have a partner right now? No, I'm currently single. So yeah. When's your birthday? My birthday is January 11th. I was born in 2001. I'm 22 years old. Next question is, what would you always do again? This is a good question. Honestly, the only thing I can think of that I will always do again is accepting Jesus into my life and changing my habits and answering the calling God has for me. I think that's the only thing I would do again because it's benefited me in so many ways. Also, putting my faith in God is something I always do again, because faith is an essential part in receiving what God has for you and fully unleashing who you are in God. So that's something I always do again. Next question, would you start a relationship now? No. And quite honestly, I don't even think I'm ready for a relationship. I think there's a lot that I still have to work on before getting into a relationship. Because for me, I don't know about y'all, but the goal is marriage. So I really have a lot to work on before doing that. So yeah. Thing that scares you that you want to overcome. One thing that really scares me is just we never really see completely what it is that God has for us. We only see like a small bit of what it is. What scares me is what he completely has for me, because I'm a very shy person and I know God is always someone that takes me out of my comfort zone. So that is something that really scares me. How are you feeling about school or work right now? I currently don't work right now. I get my money from the military or whatever. I use my GI Bill for school. I'm in school. School's okay. School is dope. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. I got a good GPA and everything. I just finished the spring semester and I'm about to do the fall semester, which is like in September. So I'm off during the summer. Do you prefer cats or dogs? Y'all, I used to think that I'll always want a dog, but for some reason, so when I used to, you know, smoke heavily, I used to always go in the backyard and do it or whatever. And there used to be this cat that used to always follow me and I used to always feed it. And I don't know, I just started to fall in love with cats after that. Like, I don't know what it is. I just love their personality and the way they are. But yeah, I'll definitely get a cat. Would you say you're an adventurous person? I don't even know. I feel like I'm still exploring that part of me, honestly. I feel like I want to be an adventurous person, but I'm scared to do so. Like, I like trying new things, but I really need to get out of, like, you know, being scared sometimes. But I think I would consider myself an adventurous person to an extent. You know, I'm still working on that. Your opinion on people who gossip a lot? Oh my god, this is such a good question. I feel like people who gossip a lot don't really have anything going on for themselves. As we all know, gossiping is a sin and it's also a form of witchcraft. When you gossip on somebody, you are actually initiating witchcraft, because words, like, they hold a lot of weight. So when you're saying something about somebody that's not true, like, that can affect a lot of things. So it's important to be careful what you're saying and who you're saying, because, you know, God don't play about his children, period. So yeah, I feel like people who gossip restrain from being around them, because once you try to indulge in those type of people, I remember when I was in high school and I was friends with these group of girls, and they had a group chat or whatever. Mind you, they love to gossip. Like, they love to gossip or whatever, especially like one of them, especially that I was close to. And you know, I'm the type of person, like, I'll talk about someone, but I'm only talk about someone that really, like, I feel like did something to me, you know what I'm saying, or made me feel away. But I'm not the type to like, oh, point out someone, oh, they don't be looking right, da 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 da. Like, I'm not that type of person, you know what I'm saying? Because I have a life. But you know, eventually when we fell out, they tried to turn it on me and make it seem like I was talking about everyone and stuff. So it's important to stay away from people that talk about people, because no bueno. But yeah, that's how I feel about people that gossip. They don't got nothing going on. Next question, somebody asked, why did you get saved? This is a good question. I got saved not because I grew up in church, but because I truly believe God called me. I accepted Jesus in my life when I was like 12 years old, but I didn't officially get baptized until I was like 14, and that was right when I started high school. I got saved because I truly believe God was calling me, and I felt something in me, you know, just felt pulled to answer that call. So that's why I got saved. And I always felt like I had the love of God in me, but I didn't really understand what it was as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would always thank God for stuff, but I didn't really have an actual relationship with him yet. But yeah, that's why I got saved. I got saved because God called me and I answered the call. And I feel like everybody should do that, because God is good all the time. Okay. Okay, next question. Somebody asked, what am I majoring in? I am majoring in business administration because that's my passion, and that's always been my passion since I was in high school. I fell in love with the idea of being a businesswoman, and that's what I aspired to be with makeup, content creation, and God. I want to put all those things together and, you know, create a whole big empire. All right, so somebody asked, next question, what would be positive signs when looking for a guy to date? This is a really good question, because I feel like even believers, Christian women, like, they don't really know how to do it themselves. They fall short on it too. I think one positive sign is somebody that doesn't force you to do things. One, they have to be a man of God. There's a difference between somebody saying they're Christian and somebody actually being a man of God. And you could tell that through their actions and what they do. But another way to know is make sure they're not forcing you to do things you don't want to do. I think that's the biggest thing. Don't make them manipulate you. And I learned this my first year of high school from talking to a guy. Don't make you feel bad for having boundaries or not wanting to do certain things, you know. And I think that's just a major thing. And I think if you live by that, you'll be able to discern who's actually a man of God and who's not. Another thing is someone who just makes you feel safe. Someone who makes you feel safe and someone you can actually see yourself doing long term with. That is an important factor. Next question is, how do you feel about COVID? This is a good question. It's interesting because during COVID, when COVID first started, COVID started like around February of 2019. That's when things were starting to like speculate and stuff. But that's actually when I left to go to basic comeback training. I was 19. No, it was February of 2020. So yeah, I was 19. COVID had a really bad effect on people, and it was basically just a rude awakening, I feel like. And I feel like God was trying to wake people up and have a different perspective of life. I feel like a lot of people, and it's sad though, a lot of people lost a lot of people and family members and stuff, and I feel like COVID affected people in different ways. Since I was gone, I didn't have like a graduation while I was in the army because of COVID, because literally when COVID happened, like I didn't think it was just gonna happen so drastically, because while everyone was going through all this stuff, I was in the field. When all of that stuff happened, we got a letter saying, you know, it's gotten really bad, and they even limited the way that we got stuff from our family. You know, it even affected my training, because there's certain things that we couldn't do because of COVID. And when it got into bad, I was just so shocked, because, you know, I was away from my family and I was scared, and, you know, I was away from society, and everything literally changed before my eyes after leaving. So COVID was literally like, it was so unexpected. Like, it hit me so unexpectedly while I was gone. I literally left and the world changed before my eyes, and I was away from society. So when I came back, it was just crazy. And we had to wear masks and do 6 feet in formation. Like, it was just crazy. And the fact that I didn't have a graduation and my parents couldn't come made things kind of hard, because I worked really hard while I was there, and, you know, it was unfortunate, but things happen for a reason. So that's how I feel about COVID. I feel like COVID was just an awakening for everybody, and a shift of perspective in life for everybody. And, you know, I feel like it was a time for people to sit and rethink things, and, you know, it was different for everybody. Everybody learned, but, you know, I never got COVID, and COVID taught me God's grace is so big, and I'm just grateful that, you know, He protected my family and everyone that I know and love during COVID. Okay, so the stupidest thing I did as a kid was when, I don't remember what age I was. I think I was still in elementary school. Basically, I wanted bangs, and I cut my hair into bangs. But then I got scared I was gonna get in trouble. So what I did was, so the bangs was right here, and then I literally cut it all the way up here, bro. Right here. Oh my God, I don't know why I did that, bro. Like, because I thought I was gonna get in trouble for getting bangs. So I cut it like right here, bro. Like literally right here. And I'm laughing because yo, we was really stupid as kids, bro. I want to hear y'all stories in the comments. Like, what was the dumbest thing you did as a kid? Cause you get it, like, it was hard to like comb my hair because I literally cut it right here. So, and she used to twist my hair and braid it, so like it was so hard to like comb it and stuff. And I was like, yo, I'm never doing this again. Like, and my mom was so mad, bro. Like, yo, this question is, what age would you move out or whatever? I don't even know. Like, that's the thing. It's all about like God's will and what He wants for me. I don't know if God will want me to move out until I get married. I don't know. It just depends. Right now, not anytime soon, because I'm just taking advantage of being here and saving my money. I don't have any kids. You know, I'm in school. I'm taking advantage. I'm stacking my bread. I'm doing what I gotta do. If I'm not married by the time I'm like 26, I think I would move out probably by 26. I would have to be established and have a good income coming in and out, you know what I'm saying, for me to actually move out. Not to judge, but why? I don't understand what this question means. I don't know who asked this question, but I'm assuming it's pertaining to me being a Christian. I already answered that question basically, like, and yeah, you are basically judging, but God has done a lot in my life, and that's why I serve him, and I'm testifying to others that want to know him and want to understand who he is. I serve a awesome God. Amen. Last question. Who's your crush? Y'all, let me stop. I do have a crush, but I'm not gonna say who it is, like, or whatever. But yeah, I don't know why I even said that question if I wasn't gonna answer it. Y'all, like, why you had to say that question you wasn't gonna answer. But y'all, I have a crush. He's a man of God, or whatever. Let me stop. Alright, but that's the end of my video. Tell me if y'all want more videos like this, and subscribe, like, share, support, put on your notification. But yeah, y'all, this is my go-to soft glam. July bookings are open. Stay tuned for more makeup content.